We are going to talk about creating action buttons, and I started out on the third page of your assignment document, and right now I am in the form view. So let me get out of here so you can see where I am. In order to put these action buttons in to make something happen when we click on these buttons, we have to go to prepare form. That's how we get access to the button that we need, which is right here. This is what we use to create buttons. And remember, in Acrobat, you can always hover over something if you're not sure what it does. This one's going to add a button. So the way these work, I've already added one here. You can see what I have done. So if I am in my prepare form view, I click preview here so I can see what is happening. So see how I get my cursor to be a finger? When I click on that, it takes me to the next page. And then this one will take me back to the first page. And this one will take me to the next page again. But these are not set up on this page. We'll go back to edit. Let's go up here and grab our button. And I'm going to put this one in first. Now, these buttons have been giving me a little bit of a problem. And it might happen while we're recording this time, so we'll just see. The first thing that usually comes up is the button with the button name. This is a previous page button, so I'm going to call it previous page 2 so that it mimics what's over here, and I should probably be very careful and do things exactly the same way. Go back one page. The tooltip is what someone will see if they hover over the button. Those are always very helpful to put in. Now the appearance, we have no border and we need to make no fill color so that our pretty blue button with the double arrows shows through here. We don't have to worry about position because we've already positioned the button with our mouse. And then we don't need to worry about options, but what this is doing is saying the button will appear up, and then when we click on it, it's going to appear to invert or press down, and that's what this is, and we're not messing with that right now. So our trigger is going to be mouse down. Mouse up is similar, but I've been having trouble getting the mouse up trigger to work. Mouse down is when you click on your mouse. Mouse up is when you click and then release your mouse. We're going to go to a certain page view. So I selected my trigger to be mouse down. So when I click down on my mouse, it will go to a certain page view. I'm going to add it, and then I have to go to where I want this to go. So let's say set link, and I'm going back one page, so I'll be going back to page 2 from page 3. Set link. And then we're using the document structure here that it's sticking within the pages of the document. I don't have a table that I would go over in rows or down in columns. If you're not sure, I think you could leave unspecified and that would be okay. And I'm not messing with this second tab right here. So that was a notification from my calendar you got to hear. Let's preview and see if this works. So, perfect. See how my cursor turned into a hand and it says go back one page, and it does in fact go back one page. Perfect. So now I'm going to go back to edit, and if I were going to set this one, I would do the same thing. So I would go get my button, bring it down here, resize it so it fits my button that's already on my page. I double click here to get to that those properties windows. I'm going to rename this next page, and this is next page 3. Tooltip, go to, I need a capital letter, to the next page. And then remember, we changed the appearance so that there is no fill color. And the actions, we're going to do mouse down. We're going to go to a page, and we are going to go to page 4. I click on page 4, I say set link, and then I'm going to use document structure and close. So let's just preview. I didn't rename this. There, it did. Sometimes things go a little slow, so let's make sure they both work. Next page and previous page. Great. Now these are going to be similar but a bit different, so we have to put a play, a pause, and a stop button in. Here's our movie. I think it's of a whale, perhaps. Anyway, right here we're going to go get our button again, put it on here. You can, right here, you can get to your properties as well, but I am going to go to them a different way because I want to resize my button first. Okay, and then double click, and I'm going to go back to general, so we start there. This is the play button, and I'm going to say click to play video. You know, I think what might have happened here, we might sometimes need to make the form field hidden so that it doesn't show up over our button, but I didn't notice that happening before. So we're going to make no color on our button again, and action is mouse down, and we want to play media right there. Actually, play media doesn't work, so what I want to do is multimedia operation. So I'm going to change that to mouse down. We're going to do a multimedia operation. We're going to add, and here's what we are going to add, the movie, and we're going to play the movie. Okay, and see how it added that there? And then we're going to close. So if we preview our play button, now this has been happening to me a few times. Once I do the button and then I go to preview, something isn't set right and I have to do it a couple of times. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to pause and go back and set my play button again and get it to work. So my video is getting a little long here, and I just want to tell you a couple of things about buttons. So my play button is actually working, but my computer's bogging down a little bit. So my buttons work, and if you have issues and your buttons aren't working, then what I want you to do is stop and save. You can even close Acrobat and open it up again. And then the other thing you would do is delete your buttons and recreate them. You might have to do that a couple of times. This is where Acrobat DC has improved tremendously over the former standalone products, but in the form view, it's still a little tricky. So do the best you can, and if you can't get a button to work, go ahead and submit what you've got. Things don't have to be perfect to make them work.